Hey, strangers. Welcome to the strange universe, where it's not about becoming someone new, it's about remembering who you've always been. Today's message is for the ones carrying fire in their hearts, the ones who never had a safe place to just be, the ones who've always had to fight for every inch, the ones who always felt a little too intense, a little too angry, like there's a fire that's been living inside their chests since, well, forever. If that's you, I want you to stick with me because by the end of this video, you just might see anger a little differently. But first, you know the deal. The world is a strange place. It keeps us sick, it keeps us busy, and it keeps us distracted. So in a second, we're going to go ahead and do the cosmic reset. We're going to take in a deep breath and we're going to think of anything that's been weighing on our mind. It could be a bill, it could be a fight, it could just be that thought that just keeps going round and round. So I want you to go ahead and take in a deep breath and think of a thought that's weighing you down, the bill, the fight, the thing that's made you frown, and I want you to just wrap it in love, wrap it in your breath, and release. Just let it go. No shame, just release. Right? Doesn't that feel good? All right. Good. Now that we're present and now that you're here, let's talk about anger. Anger, in my opinion, it isn't the root. It's kind of like a messenger. It's a mask that fear wears when it feels overwhelmed, when it's unsafe, when it feels cornered. Sure, I mean, it looks loud, it looks tough, it looks unshakable sometimes, but if you look closely, you'll see that the angriest people are often the ones trembling underneath. Rage, it's often a warning light on the dashboard of your car. You know, it's a signal, it's a cry for help, it's telling you something's wrong. Most people that are quick to anger, they actually bury things before they can feel them. Right? And this is just a sign. Anger's just a sign. Look, it doesn't mean that you should tolerate people that are harmful or violent, those who try to hurt other people. But if you look past the armor of people that aren't violent, you'll usually find that that person is actually in survival mode and they don't even sometimes know it. Here's the strange truth. You don't have to silence your anger. You don't have to broadcast it either. There's actually a middle path, one where you listen to what's underneath the anger. You ask it a question. You become curious. I bring this up because the other day I was in a meeting and I heard this woman speaking. She was a beautiful, short, petite, gentle, but fierce woman. I mean, she had a presence. And when she spoke, she said, I was born angry, I'm from the hood, and I'm always going to be angry, but I'm dealing with it. You know, I listened to her in amazement as she talked about going into bars and finding and fighting the biggest people in the room, men. She would walk around with a chip on her shoulder like a boulder. And you know, for a moment, I actually believed her. But then something inside of me, I don't know, call it intuition, inner truth, the voice of my soul, it said no. She wasn't born angry. She was born tender, soft, curious, innocent. The anger, it came later when the world stopped feeling safe. And when safety disappears, fear, it takes on all kinds of different names: loss, instability, abandonment. And then fear, it really finds its voice and it becomes harsh, loud, and defensive. It becomes angry. But today, we don't have to meet fear the same way we did as scared little children. We're not children anymore. See, you survived. You made it. You are here. There's no need to be a child anymore. And now we can meet fear with love and with compassion and with understanding. We can meet it as an adult, as someone competent, resilient, and strong. So when anger arises, We need to meet it as an observer, like a beautiful sunrise. Without judgment, we just observe it. We let it rise. We don't ask, why is it rising? We let it shine. We don't say, should it be shining this brightly? We let it tell us what it needs. Because when I sit with mine, when I stop reacting and I actually start listening, I realize what I'm calling rage is often just grief or misunderstanding. Unheard grief in most cases. It's the silent cry of an inner child who didn't feel safe, who felt maybe like a burden. A child who was told to sit still when his soul longed to run outside and play. A child who wasn't seen, not because I wasn't worthy, but because the people around me were too distracted to notice the wild, sacred heart that I had inside. I was never too much, and neither are you. We were just unseen. But it's not about blame. I don't want to make this about blame. They didn't know what they were doing, right? They couldn't recognize your wild heart. It just didn't fit into the mold. So it was labeled defective and sent on its merry way from one classroom to the next classroom to the next until we were adults. But now I get to be the safety that I never received. And that's big for me. I get to hold my wild heart gently, fiercely. I get to protect it if I'm brave enough. And you can too. I know some of you are thinking, but Pete, what are you talking about? I'm angry. I can't control my anger. But I want to challenge that today. Because I was angry too, and I am angry sometimes still, right? But I still choose to pause, to stop, and to take a deeper look. I don't just think that I'm angry anymore. I think I'm scared of something. There's something here, something I just need to take a look at. And maybe it doesn't happen in the moment. Maybe it happens a little bit afterwards. But that awareness is big. Even just that awareness, a thought, watching another thought as it happens, it changes things. Because in that moment, I create a little space. And I've been practicing, and I've noticed that space gets a little bigger and a little bigger. And in that space, I learn something magical. I learn about myself. So I want you to remember that fire in your chest, it doesn't have to be an explosion. It doesn't have to light everything else on fire. It can be an invitation, not to harden, but to soften, to hold, to heal. Anger, it doesn't want to be suppressed. It just wants to be seen. And fear, it just wants to be returned back to safety, right? That's all it ever was. It's all it's ever been. It's just a big misunderstanding. Now, again, I do want to be very clear. I'm not here to excuse people who don't want to change. This isn't about condoning harmful behavior. But if you're listening to this, I don't think that that's you. And even if it is, even if this video is your wake-up call, it's never too late to start. So do better now. Your past, it's your past. Start now. Choose something different, right? If you've told yourself, I'll always be this way, I disagree. You are not a concretized piece of stone. You are a river. You flow, you shift, you're capable of change. You weren't born angry. You were born innocent, and you learned to be angry because you were scared. And scared things, well, they deserve to be held with compassion, with reverence, and with love. So next time that fire rises up and you don't run from it, don't panic, it's going to be okay. Just feel it, right? Honor it. Honor it for its true face, not for the mask of the situation. And then just let it pass through you like water. Because you're not here to be a river that's dammed up with rage. You're here to flow freely with life, to protect your peace, to nurture your precious wild heart. You're here to be the safety that you never had, and you cannot do that with anger. So decide. Say it with me if you want, okay? Just go ahead. I know this is a little corny, but close your eyes and say, I was angry, but I choose love now. I choose forgiveness now, and I nurture my peace today. Look, I'm not a guru. I'm not above you, and I'm not beneath you either. I'm just a person walking this strange path right beside you, fumbling, falling, reaching for something here, reaching for something there, always just looking for a little bit more truth. These things that I talk about in these videos, I don't have them mastered. I practice them. And I know that the fire gets hot. I know the struggle is real, and I'm not trying to belittle this problem in any way at all. But I also know you don't have to be this way forever. You don't have to put your fire out. You just need to learn to hold it differently. Okay? Fire can fuel or it can destroy. So today, if you feel like you're barely holding on, I see you. I'm holding space for you. We're all just learning how to love the parts of us that never got the love that it needed. And I truly, truly believe that you are worthy of that love. So if this video spoke to something inside of you, I want you to drop a fire emoji in the comments below, because it's pretty lonely down there in those comments, right? And after that fire emoji, I want you to tell me, what's the one fear you're ready to meet today with love? And I want you to consider subscribing if you want to be part of this supportive community. You don't have to do this alone, and there are plenty of people here that will help you on that path. So I don't want you guys to ever, ever, ever forget, you are strong, you are worthy, and you, my friend, are seen and loved. I love you.